What's happening, everybody? We're back in the garage again. You might be asking yourself, why is the YFZ all torn apart? And why is the fan sitting over there and there's nothing on the radiator? I didn't break anything, nothing blown up, okay? What I'm doing today is experimenting. We're gonna be playing with some more things. So as you guys saw in the last video, I had the YFZ out. We were doing some runs to see what kind of temps we would get with the new Glann fan kit. Well, some of you commented, I didn't see a whole lot of difference. I get it. I ran the fan kind of backwards. Let me explain a little bit. So when I did the temp runs, I first did it with a stock fan, stock radiator, no shroud, ran it, got about 200 degrees. That's about where it stayed, right there at the 200 degree mark, which is good. All right, that was fifth gear, tapped out wide open for like a mile. Then I went and I swapped to the Glann fan kit. It's the dual fan kit and it had the full shroud on it, and I ran it back to back. I went straight back out there, did the same loop, same straightaway for a mile, fifth gear tapped, and we saw temperatures climb. I left the right side fan off, which I can operate with that thumb. It's got that switch up on the bars. Left that off, ran it as long as I could with just the left side fan going, which is a small little 340 CFM fan. And then I hit the switch once I hit about 206 degrees Fahrenheit, and it started bringing temperatures back down. So most of you saw there really isn't that much difference. There was, but it was only when I slowed back down or I kicked that second fan on and temperatures started to come back down. So what I'm gonna do this time is we're gonna swap the shrouds. I've got this one, it's got a bunch of holes drilled in it. The idea is it's gonna let a lot of that trapped hot air out, and we're gonna run the right side fan, which is gonna be this side, the exhaust side fan, right from the get-go. We're gonna turn that thing on and we're gonna go out for a ride and we're gonna see what kind of temperatures we get. You guys are gonna be very surprised at what kind of temps we're gonna see, because I ran this just a few days ago, tried the procedure the other way where I flicked the fan on right away, and I saw some pretty surprising temperatures. It's gonna be cool. So you guys stick around. We're just gonna swap this. I'll spare you all the working on the quad. I'll just swap the fans right away, get it back on, and then we're gonna go out for another ride. Stick around and see what we get. All right, here we are at the beginning of our ride. We're gonna go ahead and hit the fan. Fan is on. We're at 141 degrees. So the plan for this trip is to reverse what I did before and have the fan on from the beginning of the ride and blow all that exhaust heat away from the head so that the cylinder head doesn't heat soak, versus the other fan just running once I got to 180. I've already got the fan running prior to that in hopes to keep this thing even cooler than it was before. So if you remember temps last time, cruising around, we're around 187 before I got out and did the big rip down the road. Then it hit, 200, 206. Well, I went back out a couple days ago and just tried the method I'm doing this time with the full shroud. Remember, this shroud has holes drilled in it to let some heat escape. But just the other day, I ran the full shroud with no holes, and I couldn't reach temps above 190. Seriously, I couldn't reach above 190 ripping out there. Right now I'm hanging around 170. I still haven't even reached the temperature for the other fan to kick on with the temp sensor. Ambient temperatures are around 80 degrees. Right now it's a little bit cooler than it was for the last test. Those in Arizona know, even if the ambient temps are cool, that sun is still intense. So now we're gonna run the right side fan the whole time. The left side will kick on when it has to, bring temps back down, and we've got holes drilled in this shroud to let some heat escape. So I'm really interested to see what our max temps will be this time. But we're gonna run the exact same loop and then compare our results. Oh, it's washboarded. 172. Remember last time we were at 187 by the time we got here. 171. Now we're gonna hit our loop. I'm also doing all this to compare temps or prepare for our trip to Little Sahara, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. We're going to go from October 22nd through the 25th. We'll be riding pretty much all 3 of those days. And I want this thing to stay cool out in the sand. I've already put the headlights back on so I can do a little bit of night riding. That's also why it's nice to still have this YFZ, because all my Hondas have no lights on them. Big rock! Big rock! Just missed that. Again, these GBCs, since they're that taller tire, thank God I'm using those right now, because I've cleared a few rocks that I normally wouldn't, and those are oil pan killers. This is unreal what these temps are staying at. I'm not even at 180 yet. 179. Here come the floaters. I love those little peaks. Starting to get through our ridgeline run here. Then we'll get to that long straight road and really put the hammer down. So cool to see the Ocotillo back in bloom. Everything's so green right now. We got a ton of rain during monsoon season, and everything's blooming right at the beginning of winter here. Look at that. Looks awesome. All right, getting to the road. Here we go. Still at 178. rocky through this bit. It's also amazing what the sun will do to the sand around here. It'll just bake the sand all day, and it starts to heat up, and it traps that heat for a long time. So the surface is actually hotter than the air temps around you. And that's just baking the bottom side of your rig. Here we go. Oh, I'm already in fifth. I was searching for another gear. Little jump. 185, 187. That second fan should be on now. 189. 190. 189. No way! You're kidding. 189. 188. Now we got some air moving through that radiator. That shroud is allowing a bunch of the trapped air out. 188. This is unreal. Almost at the end. Wow. All right, let's see what happens when I slow down here at the end and see how quick those temps might come back down. Let's see what happens. 185, you're kidding. 183, we are already back down near 180. Wow. I'm gonna putz around right now. 182, because there's a golf course right there. Little par 3 course. 183. So that's where we're hanging around right now as I'm cruising back. This is when the engine wants to heat soak because you're not pushing a lot of air through that radiator. 185. This is awesome. Both fans are going right now, just holding this thing at 185. We're gonna run some of this coolant through. Hopefully it starts cooling down. Now we're cruising along at about 4th gear. Just cruising. 183. Well, there you have it, folks. That is some amazing results. At full tilt, that was 5th gear, held wide open all the way down this road. It's about a mile. I maxed out this 190, and when we were really moving, it started to come back down. We held 188 the rest of the way down. Last time, before I turned that right side fan on, we reached 206. So just by reversing the way I run the fans, you can gain 12 degrees. And in an engine's perspective, that's night and day. That's amazing. That's huge gains. So this fan kit, the dual fan kit, just turn that first fan on before you start riding. It'll keep you down around 180 to 190 degrees rather than stock up at 200. So you get a 10 to 12 degree gain. 179. That's the other benefit. As soon as you start to slow down, if you leave that right side fan on, you're going to cool this engine down quicker when you're done riding. Awesome stuff. Well, we're going to crank this thing around, and I'm going to head back. I'll talk to you guys once we get back in the garage. Look at that. 176. Good stuff.
Well, those are much better results than the test I did a couple weeks ago. From what we just saw,
this thing dropped another 12 degrees just by running the fans the other way around. So I click the fan on right when I start the ride and let the other one come on as the temperature reaches 180. Maxing out at about 180. It did hit 190 there for a little bit, but then as soon as we held that thing open, the air was moving fast enough, cooled it right down to 188. Compared to the 206 we reached before I hit that second fan last time, and then it held right around 200, 201. This is much better results. 12 degree difference is huge. So, am I a believer now? Yeah, I guess you could say so. I really like that. And to you guys who were doubting it last time, I guess there you have it. There's the results. That's what I got, and that's out here at about 90 degree ambient temps today, running around in the desert as fast as I can down that road. That thing is right up next to the rev limiter the whole time. So that kit does a good job of keeping these things cool. I foresee myself using a few more of these in the future. I've got some stuff for the Honda. So when that thing's done being built, which I have parts coming, still waiting on parts. It's taken forever to get them, but when they get here, it'll be done, and I'll have some Glann stuff for that I get to test. I also have another Trail Tech to put on there so we can see what we get. But I'm impressed with the results. That's awesome. I'm gonna keep that fan kit on there, and now I'm gonna run it that way pretty much every time. We'll see here in a couple weeks when I head out to the dunes, Little Sahara, Oklahoma. If you guys wanna show up, do it. I know a few of you have already reached out and said you're coming. Great, the more the merrier, we love it. So out there in the sand, I wanna see what the temps look like there, because sand is also very hard on these machines and they heat up a lot. It's a lot of heat through the clutch. So let's find out. But thanks for coming on this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. I definitely did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.